Getting a salary raise while working a 9 to 5 job in Nigeria can be very, very difficult, especially while working in just one company. But what if I tell you that I used one of these skills I'm going to be showing you today to double my salary in less than 1 year? Sounds impossible, right? Well, in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 high income skills. I'm also going to be showing you the realistic time frame used to learn these skills, how much you could earn after you must have learned these skills, and how to position yourself well so that your employer will have no other option than to pay you more. Do stick around because the third one is one that most people skip for and it's easier sometimes. Without wasting your time with further, let's go straight into business. Hello, smart speaker. My name is Prince Emetu. I am a 9 to 5er who is currently documenting my journey into transitioning from a 9 to 5er to an entrepreneur through digital marketing, tech, and business. Before I share the skills with you today, let me address one serious problem. Most 9 to 5ers are stuck in what I call the skill plateau. You work hard, you show up every day, yet your value in the company not increasing the moment you stop learning. The solution is not to quit. The solution is to become so much more valuable so that your employee will have no other choice than to pay you what you request. So without wasting your time, skill number one. This skill requires you to have a basic knowledge of graphics. It is called 3D motion graphics. As a 3D motion graphics engineer, you are expected to animate 3D visuals of both logo, products, architectural design, and so on. Things like video intros can also be done with this skill, and it is a very high in demand skill. What do you use to do this? You could use software like Blender, After Effects, Cinema 4D, and other softwares that you are going to learn or know about while you start learning the skills. For one, I tried out the skills while I was trying to pick the line I would like to follow. I did Blender for some months. I did one or two projects, but there was one that I did that made me to stop. I did that project over the weekend, and unfortunately, I forgot to save it and they took the line. So when I came back to check my design, I noticed that that design was gone. So that thing demoralized me. I just quit learning 3D motion graphics. To learn this skill, you need at least 6 to 12 months of constant practice. But while learning this skill, you are not just expected to build and don't show what you are doing. You're expected to keep showing up. This is one way you could make your employer see the potential in you and increase your pay even sooner than expected. The other thing to note is that Blender software is very, very much free and it's something that you can use for a very long time. And to master it, switching into other software will not be a difficult one for you because they all have the same, or most of them have the same kind of interface, the same design interface. Now, how much can you earn on just a gig while being a motion graphic engineer? As a motion graphic engineer, you can earn between 300,000 naira to 800,000 naira on just a single product animation that you do for a company. It sounds wild, right? But now, this is something that people are doing consistently. You could hop onto Google, ask how much most motion graphics engineers earn at a junior and middle role level. Then you find out that this thing I'm telling you is something that is actually very, very realistic. Now, to those that are in a 9 to 5 stage already and are maybe graphic designers that want to move into motion graphic design or video editors that want to move into 3D motion graphic design, now, what do you do? Having done one or two projects, you can table it to your management or to the HR, and then they will invite you for an interview. Just talk about how that thing you've learned can impact the company, and you check your numbers. You make sure you keep tabs of everything you are doing, the progress made, and the amount that you are going to that you can realize for the company. Remember, most companies deal with facts, not on hearsay or on maybe. Do you understand? So now moving to the skill number two. Skill number two is one that most people are now diving into. It's called AI automation. AI automation is the ability for you to utilize AI to build system, workflow, and even patterns for companies so that they can use to either scale their business, grow their business, or even reduce the number of tasks they do by themselves in their businesses. AI tools just AI tools such as Zapier N880 AI tools such as Zapier, N8N, ChatGPT AI, Claude AI. These tools can be very, very essential when building AI automation system. Now, a lot of people might be asking this question: doesn't this require knowledge of coding? No, the answer is no. It does not require that. It just basically need you to be a very good prompt engineer. That's one, and also to understand the logic behind the business you want to create that automation for. that automation tool rather for. This is one easy skill to learn. You can use between 2 to 5 months to learn a good to learn how to be a good AI automation expert. This tool can help you earn from as high as 300,000 naira to 1.5 million naira, depending on the task that you solve, or rather, depending on the AI solution that you provide for businesses. This is more likely a B2B kind of industry, and that is why the monetary value is on the very, very high side. So, what are you waiting for? Why not hop onto this and learn the AI automation? Now, how do you level up with it in your own company? Now, you could look into your company, check out for repetitive tasks that could be done without having someone doing it. Now, you could choose to pick an AI software, either Cloud or ChatGPT or Zapier, depending on the tasks that you want to accomplish, and create an automation system with these AI tools, and then present it, do a presentation to the management or to your HR or to the company's lead developer or even to the CEO. And then once the CEO finds it interesting and sees that it can help him to increase production and also increase things like productivity. Yeah, increase productivity in the company. He will definitely buy the idea and see you as one of the valuable members of the team. And immediately, or maybe within the space of 1 month, after the tool is built, start bringing input, you will see him increase your salary. But if it doesn't, what do? You can start applying to other companies that are in need of such AI automation experts and upgrade your salary or upgrade your expectations in those companies. And trust me, that is even easier than getting a raise in your own company. So moving to the third one, which I talked about in the book of this video, that it is one that people are sleeping on. It is most people say things like, yeah, it's oversaturated. But honestly speaking, it cannot be oversaturated. Do you know why? The rising number of content creators in Nigeria alone is something that you need to consider. Everybody in Nigeria right now is aiming to become influencers, content creators, but how many of them even have the skill to do this? No. And now, what is the fun part? You must not partner with the highest in the industry, in the content creation industry. All you just need to do is to have good use of video editing tools. Yes, I said video editing, right? So now the skill I'm talking about is none other than video editing. Video editing is one tool that will never go into extinction because as far as there's constant rise of content creators, there will be constantly need of video editors. And funny enough, not many video editors that I know currently, they don't even give the best standard. So imagine if you could upgrade yourself, take on if you could upgrade yourself, take on more courses or more professional gigs, and with that you can have a very very sound um, production. You could even build a team of video editors and detach yourself. That can lead you into creating an organization. But now, to those of us that are in the corporate space already, that are working as that may be video editor, or rather, that may be in management consultancy team, and you've learned this art, or you might be in the digital marketing team as a digital marketer, and you've learned this art. You could also include it in your CV, forward it to your HR or your boss, and maybe they'll give you a time to do a presentation. In that presentation, tell them about the skill, tell them what the skill can help the company achieve, and at the end of the day, you will see that if they find it very valuable, if you are very good at your art, you will get that increase that you are actually looking for. So, without wasting your time, which of these three skills would you like to learn as soon as possible? What is the time frame for you to learn video editing on a proper scale? You need at least between 3 months to 6 months to learn it on a good scale. And to be a professional, you need at least a minimum of 1 year. By that time, you must have handled different types of projects, different types of jobs, and those jobs will give you more experience and expose you to more tools. What are the tools and softwares that you could use to do video editing? You could use tools like CapCut Pro, Adobe Premiere Pro, DaVinci Resolve, and so many other tools. And there are other things that you need to learn how to use also, like tools like Storyblocks. Take note, this is not a sponsored video. I'm not publicizing or telling you to go and use any of these videos because I'm not. This is not a paid advert. So please do your own research before diving into before choosing a tool to work with. Now, having said this, how much can you earn as a video editor? A video editor that is just on a starting role, or rather a junior role, can earn from as high as 150,000 naira per video to 250 to 300. While if you are in the senior role, you could earn as little as or as high as You could earn, while if you're in the senior role, you could earn as high as 500,000 naira to 1 million naira for a single week. So what are you waiting for? Let me know if you hop into this skill because I don't want you to be like those people I talked about in the book that sleep on this. Would you be hopping into this skill? Let me know in the comment section. I'm moving into the fourth skill. The fourth skill is none other than coding. Coding is one skill that I believe that if you have this skill, you can do a lot of things. In fact, if you check out the millionaires that we have, millionaires and billionaires that we have in the world today, most of them at one point in their life, most of them at one point in their life went through coding, or rather learned coding. Mark Zuckerberg learned coding. Jeff Bezos at some point learned coding. There are a lot of people that learn coding that are big names today. In fact, there's a saying that says, if you want to become big, be an engineer. Now, being an engineer does not mean that you must go and read it in school. This coding is not something that you must go and read in school. Although, if you have prior knowledge and background in computer science, it's going to help you a whole lot, especially when you maybe read computer science down to your master's level. It's going to help you transcend into becoming a software engineer on the long run. What is coding? Coding is the ability for you to create system logic and put it into code using languages like Python, Rust, JavaScript, Java, C++, Go, and whatever. In fact, there are a whole lot of languages that are there. There's Flutter. In fact, let me just say etc. How do you go about learning coding? Now, I'm an experienced software engineer, and I can at least give you a brief on how I did mine. Now, what I did was I started learning from um, HTML and CSS, and I advanced into JavaScript. In JavaScript, I learned a framework in JavaScript, which is the framework. Later, I had a little background also on a little brush up on React JS too. Well, having completed that, I became a complete front-end web developer. You might choose not to be a web developer and become an app developer where you learn tools like React, Emetu, Kotlin, Swift, and other programming languages. Now, for backend, you could learn things like, you could use programming language like C++, you could use things like C++, Rust, Python, Java, even React, or rather Express.js and Node.js. You could use this to write your backend services for your application. Now, what are the benefits of being a software engineer? Now, as a software engineer, you could build things on your own. You could build your own applications, you could build your own software, and those softwares can help you fetch in a whole lot of money. Now, for you to be a good front end web developer, to be realistic with you need at least a minimum of 6 months to 1 year to become very, very good at it. Well, within 3 to 6 months, you could start doing one or two things inside the project as a junior developer. But before you get to that 1 year, you must have started using things like maybe Axos, um, state management, Linear, and the rest. I'm a living proof of this particular thing. It helped me double my salary to over 100% increase. And this happened in less than 1 year. In fact, I could realistically say it happened within 8 months. That's how fast it can be. You understand? But it requires a lot of dedication, it requires a lot of sleepless nights. In fact, on the scale of 1 to 0 to 10, I'm going to give this particular skill um, 80 on the scale of difficulty in learning. It is quite difficult to learn this skill. So, but if you are looking for something that is quite easy, AI automation is one of the easiest on the list. Video editing could follow. Then 3D motion graphics could also follow. Now, so the amount you can earn as a software engineer. As a software engineer, you could earn from as high as 400,000 naira to 1 million naira, depending on the project and the company that you are working with. Now, I'm not talking about external gigs, maybe those that you get from abroad, places like UK, Canada, US, and the like. Those are on another level. We're talking about $5,000 per month, maybe $10,000 per month per back end. Do you understand? So once you have understood these skills, the next thing is how do you position yourself? But the first thing is this, to start contributing positively to active projects in your company. Like myself, I was in the admin department, but when I learned this skill, I requested from my boss that he should please give me a task so that I can be to show him what I've learned. And by the grace of God, I did that. Though it wasn't perfect, but it showed that I was already on the path to becoming perfect. And that was how I got my clearance. So to the fourth skill, but before I say that, if you have learned any valuable thing from this video or gotten any value from this video, please endeavor to hit that like button. And also, let me hear your comments in the comment section. And please don't forget to hit subscribe. Let's move this channel and this community to gain value from such content. So moving on to the last on our list, though it's not the least, but it's one of the skills that if you have this skill and you utilize it perfectly, it can help you to become a beast in the corporate world. Now, what is this skill all about? This skill is none other than sales. Sales is one thing that most people find it very difficult to do. You can see experts that are very good in their craft, but what they don't know is how to sell that their craft on a global level or even a national level. So that's where you come in. You could come make a deal with a company or with your current company, strike deals with your boss, and maybe a commission-based deal. That okay, if you close a particular deal, you will need maybe 10 to 15% of whatever profit the company is making from that. And you see that that can be given to you. Now, to the time frame required to learn sales. Sales is one of the things in everything that is actually easier to learn. It requires you having at least 1 to 3 months of learning process. Why I say 1 to 3 months is because if you are fast enough, you could be able to accumulate faster and better. How does this sale double your salary? Now, everything on this list, or every skill on this list requires you to have one thing, which is sales. If you understand sales, you'll be able to position yourself well. Now, imagine when you are in sales department, definitely it's going to double your salary because once the more you close deals with the company sees you as an asset, and they have no other choice than to pay you whatever you demand. And if they don't want to pay you whatever, you could easily go to another company. In fact, sales is one skill that you can easily transfer from one company to another without actually leaving your previous company. So if you are good at it, it's something you could do on a long term. Now, to the amount you could earn while being a sales representative or a sales expert, you could earn from as little as 150,000 naira to 5 million naira on just one sale. That is how it is. Whether it depends on whether it's a high ticket closing or a low ticket closing. Sales is one skill that is not too difficult to get. It requires you to read extensively, take up maybe 1 or 2 courses, and then master the art of selling by practicing it only, even on your daily routine. Here you have it. Those are the 5 skills that you can learn in 2020 that can help you become a better person come 2027. So my bonus point, you do not need to learn all these skills. You just need to pick one, like I did, and then build on that one, become better, become an expert, then gradually transcend into another. Do you understand? Or become an expert in that one field and you will be what you want to be. With that being said, always remember that in this channel, we are smart speakers, and as smart speakers, we don't just speak, we level up. So see you in this video where I talked about the step-by-step process which I used to upskill myself